uh, the policy issue that I would like to uh, give you a little bit information about that. Yeah. So this talk actually uh, instigated by the big question: how designers can contribute effectively to safety of the people, safety of the public, safety of the asset or the properties, and also the safety of the environment in the building and infrastructure development. This is the fundamental question that we want to discuss this afternoon. And I'm glad here to have Gao Shang and also everybody who already joined with us. Yeah. Try to share your knowledge, your insight, your experiences, as well as your perspective dealing with the issue of managing the building and infrastructure subject to safety. It's not just safety for the worker, also the safety of the public properties as well as environment. Why this is the issue? Well, uh, I was one of the research members of this research in UK 2002, and this research found that the originating influence to the safety or safe system of construction works is also the permanent work design, and this is you know uh, the findings that we want to consider. Since talking about safety, it's not just dealing with the people on the down level, but also upstream part of the project organization. And another research found that failure to take adequate consideration of design factors or design features, as well as the competence of duty holder, including designer, is a key or the principal factor to the construction safety. Well, I just give you a video, sort of video, dealing with the case that we want to look at whether we can, do our best in the design state, dealing with the case like this.
Marica, uy, marica. No, baila, hermano.
I'm sorry, Kau. This is in Indonesia, bahasa Indonesia, right? Sorry.
Sorry to
It
hear
just,
to see this.
yeah. It just to describe the ground issue. I mean, the side issue. The question is whether we can do our best when we deal with the design in the beginning of the project delivery. Right. So another case. Yeah. Look at the people here, as well as here. Yeah. It was an accident in the toll road project in Java, 2018. Right, and this is the new case happening in one of the toll road project in Indonesia as well. at this one. Right. Right. So here's another case. Another one. It is in the high-speed railway project. Yeah. It is the demolition of pier head.
Ayo jajan lah.
Right.
Ngomong, jatuhnya ke sana. Udah bakalan kuat. Lihat orangnya, lihat orangnya.
So does design contribute to make this demolition work safe? So let's think of it. Another case. This is very simple one, but have a look this one. Right. Well, still with the safe system of construction works, whether we need to think of any potential hazard during construction in the design state. Let's talk about this later on. Another case, this is big case in Jakarta.
Salah satu tiang panjang tol lingkar luar Bogor ambruk saat pengecoran. Akibatnya material tiang panjang menutupi jalan sehingga sempat mengalami kemacetan. Tiang penyangga tol lingkar luar Bogor atau BOR seksi 3A di Jalan Kiai Haji Soleh Iskandar ambruk. Peristiwa ini terjadi setelah pekerja tengah melakukan pengecoran. Balok penyangga ambruk karena tidak kuat menahan beban.
Menyangga dari setakan itu mungkin ada tidak kuat sehingga terjadi melengkung dan betonnya tumpah. Betonnya masih belum keras, jadi cair apa? Cair.
Yeah, just to translate a little bit, this is the shoring instability and then collapse. Yeah, and the worker get injured. And because of it's not quite strong enough to support the wet concrete structure. Okay. Yeah, this one another case. Yeah.
Kita di belakang polis lain. Ini tanah belum bebas rupanya. Lapisan tanahnya sudah bagus sebetulnya, namun demikian malam sebelum kejadian
internasional
hujan. Terus kejadiannya jam berapa, Mas? Jam 9 pagi.
Yeah, this is also the case. Yeah, it was landslide during construction, and this is the consequences.
Siapa yang manggil?
So one of the workers buried and died in this case. Yeah. Okay, another case. It was an accident in Jakarta. This is the the project, elevated project, and then this is the an accident. Okay. And then another case, this just a couple months ago. Again, does design really matter? Is design really matter? Okay, and then another case, yes. Now this is in an accident happened in the construction of I think this is the LRT project in Jakarta. Okay, and I don't want to get this one, but this is the accident. It happened long time ago in one of the toll road project during the filter erection as well. Right. So based on those experience and the issue of how we can, prevent any dangerous occurrence in the construction site through design, then we gonna talk about safety in design, prevention through design, designing for construction safety, you name it. And we are happy here because Dr. Dausang ready with us later on after I finish my introduction, will give us an insight how international best practices or even in the Australia best practice we can understand well, and later on we can follow up with strategic action to deal with. Right. So the question is how design can reduce probability of failure mode, leading to accident, as well as how design can reduce potential exposure to damage to people, exposure damage to people, public properties, and as well as environment. This is the phenomenon. It's happened in Indonesia, and we see that is not just during construction, but also in the operation, maintenance, as well as the demolition of the building and infrastructure. We have, big picture here that we still have a black in construction. Okay, so look at the legal or statutory review that I want to show you. Well, according to the law number 2, that construction is system to plan, design, construct, maintain, demolish parts or all element of building and infrastructure. So when we are talking about construction, it's not just dealing construction on site, but also dealing with the project life cycle and project staging, from planning to design, as well as operation and then also to demolition as well. So actually, the law already, imposed to us that the safety is not just one of the responsibility by the contractor, but everybody working on the construction or the infrastructure or building development. The legal requirement as the owner, consultant, contractor to implement all the standard, from reliability standard, safety standard, health standard, as well as the sustainability standard. And those standards cover from the quality of material, equipment, health and safety, also the standard operating procedure, quality of the structure, standard operating procedure for operation maintenance, guideline for manpower management, guideline for environmental management as well. So this is the law that impose a set of requirement actually that we have to follow, we have to comply with. Yeah. So according to the Ministry of Public Works Regulation number 10, year 2001, we call it the construction safety management system, not contractor safety management, but construction. And refer back to the statutory requirement when we are talking about the construction, meaning the project life cycle. Yeah. It's not just dealing with the construction activities on site. So based on this policy, this is the project stage. Yeah. So starting from project studies, yeah. So we have to provide safety files. Yeah. Safety file by owner, consultants, or planner, designer. Yeah. Dealing with the conceptual design. They call it conceptual design, but in English maybe conceptual framework or conceptual structure, how the construction safety management system should be provided. And then design and engineering, we have the conceptual design of construction safety management system. I mean, the consulting companies, designer, or even the engineer must think of the construction safety management system to be implemented later on in the construction site. And then also risk analysis, as well as the cost of construction safety. And during the tender stage, one of the technical proposal is the construction safety plan, bids. Yeah? So one of the bidding documents in the tender stage, the bidder must submit construction safety plan. Yeah. And then finally, during construction, the policy require everybody to integrate quality, yeah, and then also the safety. So that's why in 2018, the Ministry of Public Works and the Ministry of State-owned companies declared that quality, safety, health, environment can be one of the platforms. And then for the supervision consultant, they also must provide construction safety plan by their own. So this is the policy frameworks. Yeah. So what it needs? Yeah. So in the pre-project studies, the consulting companies should provide initial identified critical issues related environment, social, economic, and also the culture, and also the technical recommendation. And then in the planning stage, they must also provide scope of plan, and then updated the safety file because of updated data and also feedback from many stakeholders. They have to update the critical issues related to environment, social, economic, and culture as well. And finally, in the design stage, they have to do not only the design drawing and then the engineer estimate, but the designers must provide the construction method statement and also identified risk analysis, preventive measure, standards and code for design, and also cost estimate for construction safety management system implementation. I think that's all the introduction that I would like to share with you as part of the way that we will discuss this afternoon together with Dr. Kausang and also Esther Mara.
Thank you, Haji.
Thank you, everybody. Gausang, thank you. Hopefully, you're familiar with the Indonesian cases as well as the little bit overview of safety policies under the law and also under the ministerial regulation as well. So now I will give Dr. Gausang to share with us dealing with the safety in design, and also we need an advice as well how we start to focus on the issue safety in design for further research or development later on. Please, Dr. Gausang.
Okay,
Time is yours.
thank you very much. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes, we can see it.
Yeah, I think from the videos that you show is a bit of overwhelming. Yeah, we can call it this. We can call it this is a design issue, but
yes,
but some of these are not only design issue, but also the system is lacking. The health and safety system is lacking. In the comment in the chat box, I type safe work method statement. This is something in the Australia construction industry. It's mandated by the law. For any contract value over $350,000, the contractor need to prepare this safe work method statement, which is essentially the risk management, analyzing the construction activities. So some of the accidents can be prevented if you don't have safety in design, but you have safe work method statements. But anyway, so this is something that we will discuss later on. Thanks for this opportunity. Can everybody hear me? I'm not sure
yes, we can hear you very clearly.
The flow is good. So my name is Gao Shang. I am a senior lecturer from Melbourne Uni. I'm also part of Link Construction, Australia and New Zealand. Link Construction is my primary research interest, but I've been teaching construction safety for about 10 years. So I know safety to a certain extent, not as much as Professor Aji, but I'm still very interested in safety research. So I'm very glad that this is our first meeting, and I hope we can have some fruitful discussions later on. Okay, so why we need safety in design? I'm going to use a couple of terms interchangeably: safety in design, design for safety, and preventive design. I think safety in design is the term more popular in Australia, or safe design. Design for safety is a term popular in UK, Singapore, and preventive design is a term more popular in America. So this is some of the facts that maybe we already know. About 60% of the fatality are traceable to the design, to the pre-construction activities. As you can see, some of the old literatures. This is the second one. Is the second study is done by Professor Alastair Gibb from Loughborough University. He retired already. So he noted that a study of 100 construction site accidents, and they found that almost 50% of the accidents are actually related to the design stage. The picture shows you are not very serious comparing to the videos that show by Aji. The first one is that the drain is above the ground. The second picture is the picture from Wembley Stadium that the column blocked the seats. And this is, I guess, from Australia or China, that the bicycle lane crashed with this barrier. And this one, the last picture shows the the sliding door actually blocked the PowerPoint. These are also very common design issues. Some of these may cause incidents, but not fatality. Next slides. Sorry. So in Australia, the researcher found that 44% of the construction fatalities are design related. So I think this researcher look at the past statistics of past data of the fatalities. Fatality means people died, and they trace back the reasons, and they find that 43% of the fatality are actually design related. And we all know that design, as the construction progresses, the scope for change diminish. So the best opportunity to address the risk, the hazards, the safety issue is actually in the design stage. I'm sure many of you have seen this graph before. So this is lead to me to think that what about in Indonesia? The literature suggests that close to 50% of the incidents can be traced back to design. What will be the case in Indonesia? It will be very interesting to see that to what extent the construction related incidents here in Indonesia is design related. We probably can do this through multiple case studies, as what Professor Aji has shown to us, or I don't know, maybe the government publish fatality statistics. We can have a little bit of examination and see if this is design related. But my hypothesis is that it will be very close to 50%, or maybe more than that. In lean construction, we have a particular tool called the 5 whys. Basically, we ask why 5 times or multiple times until we understand the root causes. So if we use this methodology to investigate the incidents or the accidents, after we ask why many times, maybe the root causes will be design related. I'm not sure. So this is because I'm familiar with lean construction. That could be a tool that we can use, help us to understand the incidents and accidents. So safety in design from the legislation perspective, we know that in the UK, which is the first country that make safety in design in their legal system by law. We know that in South Africa, similarly, they have construction regulations, section number 9, part 2, talking about safety in design. Hong Kong as well. Hong Kong basically copy and paste from UK. Singapore, in 2015, they have updated their legal system by having this design for safety regulation. By 2015, I was still living in Singapore, so I witnessed the birth of this regulation. Australia, we have Occupational Health and Safety Act. Section 28 is about safe design or safety in design. I was curious about the legal system about safety in design in Indonesia. I think Professor Aji just updated us. There is a piece of legislation emphasized on that. These slides are just a quick overview about the occupational health and safety legislation in Australia. So we have a tiered legislation. On the top is Act and regulations. Act and regulations are the laws, and the Act and regulations are supported by Code of Practices, COP, Australian standards, and the industry guidelines. So it's a tiered system. Right? We can't only have Act and the regulations. We need to have code of practice and standards to interpret the law. The current Act in Australia is the Model Health and Safety Act 2019. The current regulation is Model Workplace Health and Safety Regulation 2019. And you may be curious why in Victoria has their own. In Victoria, this is the state I live in, we have a different act and regulation. This is because in Australia, we have different states and the territories. In the past, different states and the territories, this is New South Wales, this is Queensland, this is Victoria. Every state, they have their own legislations, laws. But in 2012, the federation government think that we need to harmonize the law system. We need to have a consistent law system so that the states join in the federation level. So in New South Wales, Queensland, Northern Territory, Australian capital, and the Federation, they use the same piece of law. But in Victoria, we still use our own system. So that's why in the previous slides that you see that in Victoria, we still have our own act and own regulations. So this is slightly different. All right. Safety in design, the legislation requirement in the Model Work Health and Safety Act 2019. This applies to all states except Victoria. The Section 22 says the Act requires the designer to ensure, so far as is reasonably practicable, that a structure is designed to be without risk to the health and safety of person who, at a workplace, use the structure for the purpose, that's end user. For the person who construct the structure at the workplace, that's construction stage. For the person who carry out any reasonable, foreseeable activities, that's installation, assembly, and demolition. And last but not least, for the person who are at or in the vicinity of the workplace and are exposed to the structure, affected by an activity related to the structure, that's maintenance, repair, and so on and so forth. So the law says that when we design or build a structure, you need to consider the health and safety of the person at a different stage. And this stage cross the entire life cycle of the construction. So that is what the law says. In Victoria, our act is slightly different. We, in the Section 28, this is the Section 28, it says a person who designs a building or a structure or part of the building or structure who knows or ought reasonably to know that the building or the structure, blah, 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 is safe and without risk to the health of the person using it as a workplace. So this is very, very different. Right? So in Victoria, the Section 28 says that only if we use this as a workplace, then we should address the health and safety issues. All right? As I said, that any law, any act, and the regulation need to be supported by the code of practice or the industry guidelines. So this is the industry guidelines that we produce. It's produced by the WorkSafe. WorkSafe is the government link authority look after the health and safety. Just for Section 28, safe design in safety, they produce a industry guideline helping the industry to understand, to interpret this particular section. I think this is very important. I appreciate that Indonesia also have your own law, your section about safety in design, but do we have such system? Do we have such industry guideline helping the industry to interpret this? Maybe not. Maybe not. All right. So in Australia we have that, which is really good. So in this industry guideline, they help to clarify what do you mean by workplace, because earlier I said this only apply to using the structure as a workplace. All right. So I'll leave you. Well, this is the reference point for that. If you are interested, you can download and have a look when this safety in design applies. This is a very important point I like to make, that for any occupational health and safety legal requirement, you need to have a supplementary document supporting it, helping the people to understand. So we have many code of practice like this one, the one in the middle, safe design of structure code of practice. This is the safe design of structure code of practice. This is from the federal level, from the Commonwealth. This is from New South Wales. And we also have industry guide and another industry guide called Chair, supporting the industry to understand this particular section. Right? I'm sure some of you may be familiar with some of the industry guidelines. One of the very popular one is this called the Chair. CHAIR stands for Construction Hazard Assessment Implication Review. The ultimate material is available online. It is can be accessed by the public. What I like this guideline very much is it shows the steps how we conduct the safety in design process. The step number 4 is very interesting. They break the design into different stages. Chair 1 is about conceptual design review. Chair 2 is about detailed design construction review. And Chair 3 is about detailed design maintenance and repair review. So all this review need to be undertaken, need to be happening before construction in different stages. So this is a very useful safety in design material, helping the industry. They also have a template how we run the safety risk analysis for the designers in the design stage. They have the examples. What is the hazard? What is the cause of the hazards? Why it is happening? How we can address it? By who? And so on and so forth. Another very important material known by the industry is this one: design safer building and the structure. Right? And this is the one that I have mentioned earlier. It is the interpretation of Section 28, which is design for safety. It also has a recommended step. Basically, there are 2 steps. The step 1 is to identify the hazard. The step 2 is to perform the risk management. But we do this in the design stage. That's it. Very, very simple message. All right. And this is the Safe Work Australia. This is produced by the central government, by the federations. If you look at the page 23 and 26, this is where they can download this is where you can download the material. If you look at the page 23 to 26, it has 3 recommendations. The recommendation for design for safe construction, they provide you a long list. All right. I'm not going to read all these, but this is what the recommendations, the control measures for risk relating to the construction of a structure. I will leave you to read about it. So this is the design for safer construction. This is the design to facilitate safe use. So here they talk a lot about the areas, the space, design space, design areas. This reminds me spatial consideration is very important when you do safety in design. The next one is design for safe maintenance. All right. So what they are trying to say is that to bring the safety, to bring the maintenance crew in the design stage, asking them what hazards can you anticipate it in the maintenance stage. So they talk a lot of the maintenance can be done at the ground level instead of higher level and so on and so forth. All right. I'm not sure you have read this paper. So this is a very interesting paper. They talk about the trajectories, the directions of design for safety in the construction. This paper was a bit old, 2008. In this paper, basically, this research suggests that these are the 4 areas that we can help to address the safety in design. The trajectory, the direction 1 is to increasingly use prefabrications. Trajectory number 2 is to use less hazardous materials. Trajectory number 3 is to apply the construction engineering methodologies. Number 4 is spatial considerations, to consider the space, as I mentioned earlier. If I draw the recommendations or the control measures from safe design of structure from Australian government, I found a lot of similarities. I found that basically these 4 trajectories applied in these 3 areas: design for safe construction, design for facility safe use, and design for safe maintenance. So I find that this research is quite solid, very good. And many of the control requirements, control measures by this code of practice falls under these 4 trajectories. To me, this is very, very interesting. All right, what I'm going to do next is to show you two examples from a local construction company in Australia, how they do safety in design. So this is one of the large construction contractor, not the design consultant, not designers, a contractor, how they perform safety in design, what is their process. So this is given by one of their safety director from the large local builder. So it's actually a female. She shared this information with me. So this is the step that they follow. The step number one is to kick off the design for safety meeting. All right. In this meeting, they will establish design for safety expectations. They will introduce, they will sort of teach the participants what are the design for safety process and the tools. And they will also include the construction and operation perspectives. So this is what they do in the first step of the safety in design meeting, kick off the design meeting. Then second, they will invite the trade contractors. This is the subcontractors. They invite the subcontractors to come and to discuss what are the issues that they can be done in the design stage from each of the trade partners, trade contractors. All right. And then they will, after that, they will do internal reviews. All right. And they will also engage their QA, QC, environmental cross-discipline team to come in and to review their design for safety thing. Then last but not least, they will also they will submit this to owner client to have a meeting with the client, or they will engage a third party, the consultant, to validate the safety for design, the exercise. Everything agree, then they will issue the drawings for the construction. All right. This is the template that they use. I can show you the template. I can share the template with you. So this is the template. I can share the screen again. So this is the template that they use. All right. So this is the risk assessment in the design stage. All right. Okay. And before I show, they've got multiple columns. I'm not sure you can see the multiple columns. Can everyone see the Excel sheets now? I hope you can see the Excel sheets. All right. So they've got this is the risk number. The second column is the contractor name. The third column is the elements. So if you click the elements, there's a lot of elements that they can choose. They can choose the elements of canopy roof. They can choose the elements of the car lift. They can choose the elements of excavation, facade, fire, and so forth, so on and so forth. And then the first column is the design risk. What are the risks? They list down the risk. The fifth column is the categories. So it's if it is the risk associated with the design stage or the construction stage, or from the end user perspective, or the maintenance stage or the operation stage, or maintenance and operation stage. So different stages. All right. So this is the different categories. And what are the types? So they also classify different type of the hazards. It could be the access and egress hazard. It could be the confined space hazard. It could be what else? Falling objectives. I've seen from the video that there's falling objects punched through the car from RG's video. And then they will apply the risk assessment, high, low, medium. I'm sure you're familiar with this. And then they have got the risk mitigations. And then they will sign who will be the one that responsible for these particular ones. All right. So you can see that who are the responsibilities people. They have got different trade partners, subcontractors, interior designers, right? Design consultants. Everybody will be invited, and everybody will be asked to collaborate on this Excel sheets. So this is a very common approach that this company is using for performing this risk safety in design exercise. Right. So now I move on. So this is the example from one large contractor in Australia. I've got another examples. Sorry, this one. This is another example from another tier 2 contractor in Australia. So this is the their safety plan. This is because due to the confidentiality, I'm not able to show the full safety plan. I'm just showing you 2 sections. They've got the section number 6, which is about the risk management, health and safety and environment risk management. This is the activities under it. One of the things that I think is very important for the Indonesia construction industry to consider is this one, safe work method statement for high risk construction work. Many of the pictures that many of the videos Professor Aji shows are the high risk construction activity. For the high risk construction activities, we have to do the safe work method statement. But in addition to this company also have a section about the safety in design. So they've got the multiple workshops and the meetings for that. One of the workshops is called SIDE. This is the full name of the SIDE workshop is Safety in Design Evaluation Workshop. All right, and this is done by the construction company, not done by the contract, not done by the designers, done by the design consultant. It's done by the construction companies. And what they do is that in the construction companies in Australia, they will have a design manager. Design manager is the one that manage or lead this workshop. All right. In this workshop, they will use a checklist like this, or the Excel sheets I have shared with you earlier, and plus beam modelings. In this workshop, they will try to identify what are the hazards from the construction stage, from the maintenance stage, from the perspective of different subcontractors, and then they will sort of note down in this checklist, and then they will apply the risk management system to evaluate the risk and address the risk. So this has become a very common standard process in Australia by the large construction companies. All right. So this leads to the second research question. I think this is a quite interesting research question, is that what is the practice of design for safety in Indonesia's construction industry? What is the level of awareness? Is there any implementation gaps? And what are the challenges in terms of the implementation? All right. The next few slides, I will just share some of the resources that I rely in terms of safety in design. The first piece of the resources is this one. It's called Design for Construction Safety.org. This is the website. There's a lot of good stuff there. A lot of examples. I encourage you to check out this website and have a look about some of the tools in this website. The second resources I would like to share with everyone here is resources that I get from a good friend of mine, Dr. Patrick Manu. As I discussed with Professor Aji, that this is one of the first series of this international safety in design talk. In future, we may invite Dr. Patrick Manu to share with us some of his knowledge. This is the resources he provided with me. Many of the resources are UK based. I quite like the third one and the last one, design best practice and the design for health task group of health in the construction leadership group. All these websites are available to the public. I just very quickly share with you one website is this one. This is the design best practice promoting safety in design. All right, so it's like a forum. I encourage everybody to have a look at it. You look at the updates, many of which are very, very recent. All right. So, for example, if you are interested to understanding this safe transportation of bracing members. Let's have a look. You click this one, and someone will provide a PDF file and share some knowledge about it. There are a lot of examples of this. This is about staircase spacing fixing. All right, what is the good practice? What is wrong? All right, so they write this 1 page or 2 page kind of things and share with the audience. All right, there's a lot of information there. Okay, if you guys are interested in civil, you click civil. If you are interested in structure, you click structure. All right, and there's many case studies and contributed by many companies. All right, so if you click that, we'll give you a case study of that. I think still loading. Yeah, so this is the spill responses. What they think it's the best control measures for it. All right. So the website is here. I encourage you to explore that web link that I provided here. Okay. The next one is the resource from Singapore. I think Singapore has been very generously publishing, their safety in design journey, including the laws, the code of practices. I also have access to their safety for design libraries. All right, this is quite interesting. They have examples of hazard architecture design. They have examples of safety for design for safety in terms of mechanical and electrical design. So they've got a lot of good materials. All right. But just one thing I like to highlight here is that who are the contributors? The contributors is not the academics only. Professor Guo Yangmiang is a professor of construction safety from National University of Singapore. He is not the only contributors, but look at the contributor list. They've got the developers, for example, city development from Singapore. They've got the design consultant, ISP. They've got the facility management companies. They've got the government link companies like BCA and the Workplace Safety and Health Council. They've got the associations. Right? So they've got multiple stakeholders are being the contributor. All right? The question to all is that can we assembling a team like this? For AI, CRC, we have many academics on board, which is really good. But to make this design for safety research more practical and more realistic, we need the support from multiple stakeholders, right? So this is the design for safety library look like. They've got the numbers, they've got the hazards, they've got the risk, and they've got the proposed control measures, right? So-called the best practices, which is really good, right? Not only for the architecture, but also for the mechanical and electrical designs, something like this. This one means that the equipment are installed at the ceiling level, very high, so it's very hard to do the maintenance. So this is what they are coming up with. They built a kind of a platform so that the maintenance crew can easily access the work on the maintenance. The maintenance crew can sort of standing there so that they can easier to access to perform the maintenance exercise. So there's a lot of examples from this library. Okay. And then this leads me to think about this research question. Can we build up a design for safety library or body of knowledge for the Indonesian construction industry? Right? Following the examples from Singapore, from the UK, from the resources I shared with you earlier, it could be very, very meaningful. All right. Thoughts for the AI CRC safety in design. So if we work together collaboratively, hopefully we can achieve the following deliverables. I believe this is one of the first series of the webinars and workshops. I'm planning to invite international researchers in design for safety, as well as practitioners in future to share their knowledge. It will be a network for the industry partners in Indonesia as well. Hopefully we can have something like the Singapore way, that we can invite different stakeholders like developers, design consultant, FM associations to join these research collaborations, so that become a network platform. Then we can exchange the knowledge with other international or local design for safety researchers. And hopefully by the end of, I don't know, maybe next year, we can have a report about DFMA implementations for Indonesia construction industry. And maybe we can collect examples from the past projects in Indonesia. Not these failed examples, not the accidents, but also good practices, right? So that we can have a body of knowledge or the library, right? For the researchers, maybe we can write something, publish at Safety Science and something like that, drawing from the reports. So that would be great, right? So that's all for me. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening. Right? I will stop sharing, and I will pass this back to Professor Aji, or who will be the next speaker.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Go. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for listening. It was quite interesting insight Go already shared with us. There are many resources. Can you hear me, Go?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Right. So actually, we will have Esther Mara. I would like to check her. Esther, you are with us? Oh no. Okay. He just contact me because of a trouble in somewhere. Connection is not so well. Okay, then. I would like to ask everybody here to join with us to discuss. Here we have Dr. Iris Mahani, also Bu Fitri, Bu Jutina. Please comment. Please raise any ideas, any thought, or everybody here who join with us. Please.
I'm sorry that I late to join Pak Suraji, so I will first.
Yeah. Any question? Any comments? Bu Iris?
No. I'm afraid I am wrong because I'm late.
No problems.
Actually, I have a question.
Yes, please.
Okay, so I think what I presented here is that it's from the perspective of the contractors. So maybe in Australia content is because our procurement model is design, build, and innovation.
Oh, I see.
So more means that the contractors, they have a little bit of design capabilities, so that before the construction starts, the contractors need to do this design for safety exercise. All right. And what I'm presenting here today is the perspective of the contractor, how they interpreted Section 28 of the law, which is safety design. But in your presentation, in your introduction, I think what you are trying to say is that is more about the design consultant or the designers. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah, that's correct.
Yes, I think when the law, the legal language is designer, there are many interpretations of the designer. The first question is that who is the designer here? It can be the building designer, it can be the engineers, can be the architects, and it can
Yes.
be those,
Yes.
can also be the contractors. So my presentation is about the contractor's perspective, and yours is about the designers, the design consultant. Is that correct?
That's correct, because here usually the government are using the design bid build, so separate between design and construction. Except a lot of project now in Nusantara project, using the design build contract. Yeah, that's why the contractor also responsible to design. But again, here in Indonesia, I believe that we don't have design and build contractor. But when the contractor submit a bidding for the design build project, they will engage the consulting companies, and to get the consortium joint operation, something like that. Yeah. So it's quite a difference.
But my question to you is that, is the contractors in Indonesia are asked to do the safety in design exercise? Do they need to do the safety in design exercise?
No any legislative law or legal requirement the contractor to check, the design to construct, something like that. We call it a constructability by the consulting companies, the designers, whatever. But usually when the design build project delivery, so everything already submitted by the designer to the owner. So that's when the contractor just dealing with the project execution on site.
I would like to quickly share this material. I hope everybody can see this PDF file. So this PDF file is the one that I've mentioned earlier. Can you see that? Safe Work Australia?
Yes, we can see.
Safe design of the structure, code of practices. Code of practice is not law. It is the recommended practices.
Recommended practice, yeah.
All right. So it is the interpretation of the section from the law. All right. So they talk about the key elements of the safe design. They talk about all that risk management in the design phase and safe considerations. What are the control measures? But I'd like to draw you to the appendix of this. So in appendix, they talk about the roles and the responsibilities of the clients, designers, and the contractors. So what I like this code of practices is that they provide you different arrangement. It could be this kind of relationship, client, design, build, entity, design and contractor, design, build team, or it can be design and contractors, they have separate contractual relationship with the client. It can be also something like this, and the different and like this.
Seru meeting, bahasa Inggris meetingnya channel.
So what they are trying to say is that this code of practice, they consider different type of the procurement strategy under different procurement strategy. What will be the responsibilities of design and what is the responsibility of the contractor in terms of design for safety exercise? It cannot be only done by the designers or design consultant. It should also be done collaboratively, as what this arrow means: consultation, cooperation, and coordination duties. So that's why my emphasis is on the contractors, how they should perform the design for safety exercise by collaborating with the designers, by collaborating with the subcontractors, by collaborating with the maintenance crew or end user, bring their knowledge in the design stage or pre-construction stage to do this Excel sheets that I have shared with everyone earlier. So this is what I like most. It is not limiting to one procurement, but it is that is open to different procurement strategies.
All right. So thank you so much. So Here in Indonesia, what I'm intending to propose is that whatever the procurement system apply for, then since beginning of the project stage, that everybody will join. Yeah? Even in the design state, let's say the consulting companies can invite somebody from the contractor side, yeah, to give inputs.
Yes.
And yeah, the keyword is the collaborative effort by everybody working in the project. And I don't know exactly in Australia whether the client matters, meaning that client-driven collaboration, something like that.
In
Is
the
it the
public
case?
sector, yeah, in the government project, client may have important design brief, or sorry, the client brief.
Yes.
They can mandate or they can force, but in the private sector, not really.
I see. Right. So thank you. Anybody want to ask a question? Mas Eko? Mas Eko, you may have a question in Bahasa that I will translate in English if you want to. Or direct in English is okay. Mas Eko?
Mungkin saya Pak Suradi.
Silakan Bapak.
Ya. Oke,
Pak Wawan,
thank you.
please.
Ya,
Okay.
thank you Pak Suradi, Prof. Suradi. Hey, Kusang.
Hi.
Yes. Very interesting that as Prof. Suraji explained that design actually not only responsible by contractor but all stakeholder involved in construction industry, that they have responsible for safety. But mostly in Indonesia, this is from my perspective from contractor side, but in practically that mostly in design that do by designer like architect or structure, then not involve safety in their design.
Yes.
So from contractor, we have put some effort to make some methodology how to construct the design safely, and in this case very costly. So like Prof. Suradi shared in the first session, that in deep when contractor put some deep piping in a deep excavation that do not put some protection. This is related with the cost, I think, because in design, the architect or the civil engineer then not put some additional protection when contractor do the excavation work. So I think this
can I challenge you
in
that
Indonesia.
All right, I understand that you talk about the cost. So that's why in Australia we use a term called reasonably practicable. If you see my chat box, that's the term, reasonably practicable. I'm not asking you to use the most expensive protective methods. You have to also consider the cost of it. How reasonable is it? How practical is it? Can I also share with you that the first video that Professor Aji shows that lower the pipes in the trench, right? You don't use crane. You use some other manual thing lower down. In Australia, I think in Australia the reasonable practicable approach is using the crane first. Second, you don't have any change protections. There are many change protections. You can use hydraulic system to support.
Right.
You can use the change shields. You can even put some doors and the windows, use doors and the windows, protect that, and you can actually slope it out. We call the buffer. We call the buttering it up. But the thing is that if the change collapse, in Australia, we also have deep change collapse. 2 people died. If people die, you know the penalty for the construction companies. That 2 years ago, we introduced manslaughter law. Means that if people died in your site, your director will go to the jail. The company will be fined $1 million. You think $1 million versus the change shield, which is more expensive. So in the past, the penalty is very weak. Someone died, I think 200,000 Aussie dollar. That's fine. That's okay. But now the Australian government, they lift up the penalty to $1 million. If someone die, the director need to go to the jail 20 years. Company fine $1 million.
Wow.
We are now like the UK. UK also $1 million jail. With these very harsh laws, the people have to think about what is the reasonably practical practice. You know?
Yeah.
Cheap. If you always think about the low cost because of the cost issues by avoiding the control measures, that is not applicable anymore, you know. Sorry,
Well, yes, thank you. Silakan Pak Wawan. Please, Pak Wawan, any comment?
Yes, because Kausang in Indonesia mostly contractor win and the tender is based on the lowest cost mostly. So because safety is very costly. In our experience, mostly more than 5 until 7% additional cost. If we make a tender in maybe less 200 billion rupiah, there's more than 50%, I think. So how to win the tender if we put additional cost more than 10%?
Okay, I understand. So, but again,
for big contractor, I think they can handle this additional cost. But Indonesia mostly is very small contractor, more than 200,000 small and medium contractor.
Okay.
This may be the potential.
Okay. Yeah, I understand. So that could be the
problem
challenge
that we need to consider.
Yeah. Okay. But again, you have to interpret the law. The law
mungkin
term
itu Pak Suradi.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Pak Wawan.
Thank you very much.
Well, it's talking about trade-off between cost of safety and then also the value, that we have to deal with, and the penalties in terms of Australia. But here, Indonesia, the penalty is so low. Even just say thank you, it's quite hard here in Indonesia. That's why we need to research and then to give insight to the government policy as well, while we also, intending to propose the the recommended practice, something like that, in order to implement what we to expect by everybody working on the construction industry. All right, so I would like to invite Pak Eko, Mas Eko, anybody here? We still have 15 minutes.
Belum, Pak. Ya, silakan, Pak. Terima kasih. Cukup jelas, Pak. Siap.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Eko. Anybody else?
I think Professor Abdul just joining.
Prof Abdul?
Yeah.
Welcome, Prof Abdul. Let me check.
Halo. Sorry.
Hello,
Prof. Abdul, yeah.
Abdul, please,
Yeah,
please
I
give
just
the opening speech now.
opening and the closing
Closing,
maybe.
closing remark.
Okay,
So
okay.
we still need you to, say something here in this event, in this talk. Welcome, Pak Abdul.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Pak Haji. Thank you, Gausang.
Hi.
Nice meeting you again, even
Yeah.
though online, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is Bapak Ibu sekalian. This is like our follows up, yeah, from what so-called AI CRC. We already formalized that we have an initiative, yeah, together from academia, from Australia and also Indonesia to do research related to construction issues, yeah. Pak Ahmad Suraji already initiate, yeah, to start the initiative, yeah, so you can just follow up the initiative. And I think I would like to thank to Pak Ahmad Suraji for doing that, and also Gausang. Actually, this is maybe become an example and maybe a model, yeah, for our AI CRC initiative, that we also have a so-called international talk, yeah. I think maybe Gausang also can try to introduce also our Indonesian colleagues, yeah, to talk also in your class maybe, yeah, sometimes, yeah. Or maybe we can also have Igor or TK, yeah, or maybe other Australian colleagues also to talk, just maybe like 1-2 hours, yeah, like this, in specific topics. So we can have like a regular and related to each working group, yeah. Actually right now we have 8 working groups, yeah, and I think this one is the first one, yeah, to do this. This is what's so called the safety and quality and safety working group, yeah. And Gausang, you are the coordinator for this, yeah.
No, Aji is the coordinator for this. Under his leadership, I just have to come and support. Yeah.
Okay.
Also, Krishna is also part of this group.
Yes.
But he's ontology because he's now traveling to Chengdu, China.
Yeah, with Ibu Rector, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think we have talked also discussed in WhatsApp group, yeah, that we will have international virtual course. It's a more longer courses, yeah, that we can deliver, and then we open these courses to the practitioners in Indonesia, so they can join, yeah. But it's online, yeah, so virtually. So I think we can set up that, and maybe next year, yeah, during the summer course. I think this is very important, because one of the topic that we will have is about design build implementation in Indonesia, yeah. Actually very interesting, because we still have a different understandings, yeah, on that project delivery methods, yeah. But we want to use that effectively, yeah. But I think we have to learn the philosophy behind that, and then how can we just also try to make like procedures more detailed based on the philosophy, that not only as a regulation, yeah, but it's, I think, depends on the needs, yeah, of the project, also the capacity of the owners, and also capacity of the design builders available in Indonesia, yeah. So I think this is very interesting. So I think I'll look forward to coordinate, this initiative.
Yeah,
Okay,
I think,
thank you.
Yeah, I think Aji has some good examples, and we can start to do the research. And if any results and the fundings from the research, that they can be use as the materials for the summer school in
Oh,
future.
oh yeah,
So
good, good.
that will be really
Oh,
interesting.
thank you.
Aji just showed some of the videos which I've never ever seen before in Australia.
Which one?
Some of the accidents which is
Oh,
quite
okay.
unimaginable, but quite interesting. Very a lot of discuss point. So it's good.
Okay. Regarding your talk, Gausang, could you just share the presentation
I've shared in our group, and I'll share more
in our MS
materials.
Teams, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay,
Right.
I think that's from myself. I think Pak Haji, thank you, yeah.
Thank you, Pak Abdul. We will look forward to carry on our research and as well as the activities around. I will do my best to get support from the construction safety committee as well. Yesterday, I talked to the director, Pak Gimron, as well. And hopefully, it's not just research, but also we would like to design any activities like symposium or whatever we can do later on, and hopefully we can start to contribute to. One of the issue, Pak Abdul, I want to report you. I'm also involved in providing the code of practice for water resource infrastructure development in the Ministry of Public Works to provide the construction safety code of practice. Yeah. So hopefully, Gosang also can help us to do that. Gosang, is still any time for you to answer the question?
I'm just trying to answer the question. Yes,
Please.
I have time. So there's one question from the chat box asking the cutting edge technology such as VR for safety training and simulation or vision imagery and so on and so forth. I can share one example is that in Victoria, we have VBA, Victoria Building, not VBA, sorry, MBA, Master Builder of Australia. They have a Victoria branch. So Master Builder of Australia is the industry association where many contractors subscribe. In this association, they have a training facility where they have a large screen. They have the VR sets. They invite the contractors to come to their training facilities to sort of go through the safety trainings for that. All right. So there is a training facilities and around. But to answer your question, this is my perspective. I think in Indonesia, this is my perspective. Correct me if I'm wrong. In Indonesia, when I see the video of Professor Aji, I think maybe it is too early to use these technologies. I mean, this technology is important. Using AI and VR, to simulate for let's say the crane operators or the truck operators, they can use the simulations to do the training. That's fine. But I think more important thing to address is this safety management plan or the safety management systems. And these systems, for me, very clearly, there's something is missing in your plan.
Yeah.
The one that I've mentioned, that the work safe method statement, this is a legal requirement in Australia. I didn't show you this in my presentation. My presentation is about safety in design. But in the construction stage, we have safe work method statements. Before any high-risk construction activity, the law says how many are the high-risk construction activities, like the working in the trench, lifting up the concrete, the bridge girders. These are high-risk construction activities. Before these construction activities, you need to do the safe work method statement. You break down the activities into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Each activity, you identify the hazards, you identify the risk, then you propose the control measures. You do this one by one, okay? Then you make sure that everything is covered. Then you do the construction work. And this is something missing in Indonesia. If you have done this, I'm sure that you will avoid this trench collapse, the big component collapse, or the topple of the tall crane. When I show this video for my students in Australia, they will say, Kaoshang, don't show me this. This has never happened in Australia. This is from other country. Don't show me. Show me something in Australia. So that's why. But today I'm seeing this. I know that this is happening in this country. And then I immediately realized that there's some missing gaps, the holes in your management system. Otherwise, this should not happen. All right. So I think this is the priority. Then using the technology we can do, but let's address the most important thing, the elephant in the room first. Sorry for this perspective. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kaoshang. And maybe
elephant in the room. Elephant in the room.
Elephant in the room. Well, I think we will do our best, Pak Abdul, in this group. That maybe later on we will discuss whether there is opportunity to provide, let's say, short training, short course, how to provide the safe work method statement, how to plan our construction method better, complete, including the construction safety analysis as well. So it's quite challenging, and I do hope Kaoshang can help us to improve our insight or our understanding, and if possible, then someday we also try to do our best, our research, and propose the code of practice. Because we have a lot of issues here in Indonesia, Kaoshang, and one of the issue also the Nusantara project in the case of safety, quality as well. And I know that Australia also assists in the project management system development for the Nusantara project through KIAT. We call it KIAT. I don't know in Australia, KIAT. Right, so I think because of it's already 5 o'clock here in Jakarta.
Yeah,
and
so your lunch time, okay. So dinner time, all right.
Dinner time for you.
Oh, the free time, no, yeah, okay.
So thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
Pak Abdul, thank you so much, Kaoshang. Thanks so much, everybody here, and hopefully we will meet very soon. So thank you. Alhamdulillah. Kita akhiri. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Kaoshang.
Thank you, Abdul.
Thank you, Kaoshang. Thank you,
Aji, thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you, Kaoshang. Thank you, Pak
Bye-bye.
Haji.
Thank you.
Thank you.